Guys, how you doing? Today I just want to do something a little bit different, and I want to do a fun tier list where I rate all of the base world and Iceborne monsters from my personal opinion on how much I like them. This kind of includes their design, how fun they are to fight, the sort of mechanics, how personally frustrating I found them. I thought it would just be fun to just go through and let you guys know a little bit more about me and how I play the game and stuff. So yeah, I'm so fucking excited that we almost hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay, editing hint here. Actually, before I could even publish this video, we've hit 1,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope to keep creating content for you. Thank you so much. Absolutely blowing my mind how supportive you guys have been, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, should we get on to the tier list? So let's get started. So just a few housekeeping before we get beginning. I just want to tell you guys like my rating system. So S 3 stars. This is like cream of the crop. I fucking love this monster. They are the best little creature. I think their design is fantastic. I think mechanically they're not horrible to fight. I think they're cute or cool or something, and I think they're just like chef's kiss. Fantastic. They didn't do any wrong while designing or making them. It's 1 star. Love the design, love the fight or something like that, but there's something that disappoints me about the fight or the design or something. I think there's a little bit more potential there, but I still think overall fantastic monster. A tier. Didn't quite reach S tier. We'll find some examples of these as we go. Maybe the fight's a little fun, there's a little frustrating mechanic. B tier, kind of just mid. Like they didn't really excel in anything, didn't really stand out to me in any particular way. Still maybe interesting or like unusual in some respect, but didn't really like grab my attention and go, oh my god, that's a cool monster, you know? C, this is when we started getting into monsters that have personally offended me in some respect. I think like, we'll I have a couple in mind for this tier. D is monsters that I've actively gotten upset fighting or very frustrated around. I think I'm looking at you, Diablos. There's certain monsters that just, you probably all have them, right? If you have a monster that you really hate, comment in below so we can just revel and share in some of the horror stories we've had, because everyone has one. If you play Monster Hunter, you have one. You have a specific monster. You're like, god damn, I hate that guy. I wish he wouldn't exist. Yeah, without further ado, I think we should get started. All right. There's a lot of little monsters to get started with. Let's begin with Tsitsi. So, Tsitsi. Where am I putting you? So, I like the color purple, right? But also, stun, or like stunning mechanics are some of my least favorite things in this game. And I do run Steadfast 3 on most of my builds for that reason, because I hate being stunned. Like, I come from Overwatch, being stunned doesn't feel good. I don't like it in games, and I respect, like, I know it's a skill thing, I'm just bad at the game. But for that reason, like, I like his design. I love how he looks like a little frill-necked lizard because they are so cute. But I think just for the reason that he has a stun, despite his design being pretty cool, and like, he's supposed to be one of the introductory monsters, right? He's supposed to be a bit of a check on like movement. So I think I'm gonna put him in B tier for that reason. He's a pretty great little guy. Who next? What about Banbaro? So Banbaro is a fluffy little guy and he's pretty cute. However, he has a really nasty, terrifying habit of throwing rocks and or trees at me. And also he's pretty tall to fight, so he's kind of hard to hit sometimes. His legs are pretty good to hit. I do like his design. He looks like a little cotton ball. He kind of reminds me of Eldegoss from Pokemon, like in his little art icon, which is actually one of my favorites. I really like that Pokemon. And he's also got big ass ones. He's kind of cute, you know. He's kind of like a reindeer on steroids. I think for that reason. But he's around. Okay, so Banbaro also appears a lot. He's a very like. The fact that he invades annoys me. The fact that he's the invader. So. Oh, it's tossed between A and B. I think we're gonna put him in A tier for now because he's fluffy and I feel like he would be a pretty great monster to cuddle. Let's go with classic Rathalos. So I like Rathalos. I've never felt like his fight was particularly unfair. I feel like he's a pretty good shape. I think, like, I love dragons and wyverns of any type, especially. So I think just being, like, the classic, the dragon. I mean, I guess there's Savageeva. Savageeva's more of the dragon. But in terms of, like, being a figurehead of the series and just being a cool guy and not very unfair to fight. I think his poison is a bit frustrating, but his movement's never like super annoying to deal with, especially when you're playing Switch Axe. So I think I'm gonna put him, but he's not like, I don't think there's a specific mechanic for him that puts him directly in S for me. So I think I'm gonna put him in S 1 star. All right, who next? Radaban. Okay, wait, okay. So Radaban was one of the first monsters I solo hunted, like excessively. I really like Radaban's helmet, right? Because it's like, on the female characters, it's like the helmet with the little cat ears, so it looks like a bicycle helmet with little spiky cat ears, and I kind of love it for that. But, and he's kind of grotty. I do think Radaban's kind of gross because he lives in a stinky junkyard equivalent, like rotting bones. So I don't think I could put him in S+ for that, but the fact that I really love his armor and the fact that he was one of the first monsters in World that I hunted by myself and farmed, I think I'm gonna put him in S because I have fond memories of that. Hey, okay, Furious Rajang. This guy is a pain in the ass. I'm still terrified to fight him solo. I have never fought him solo, and I don't think I ever will because I'm frightened of him. He has attacked me several times unprovoked, and I'm holding personal beef with him for that because it's very rude of him. I'm just trying to mind my business. So for that reason, I am putting him in C2. All right, Palumu. You know, I like his design. He's a cuddly little guy, right? He's kind of cute. I like bats. I think he looks a little bit like a marshmallow. But he's also super annoying when he flies. And it might just be the Switch Axe main in me, but I hate it. I hate flying monsters so goddamn much. And Palumu flies a lot, right? He just sits up there and he's just floating and looking down on you. It's kind of condescending. So I think for that reason, he's gonna go in the B tier, even though he's very cute. He's very cute, but he's very annoying. Glavenus. All right, Glavenus is one of the cooler designs in my opinion. I think the long tail is like really inspired in terms of design, and he looks imposing. He moves deceptively quick for such a big guy, and I think that's very cool that they designed a monster like that. Love his color scheme. Can't beat that red, blue, gold, you know, like classic primary colors. But he is a bit of an asshole. I've kind of gotten around it now. Like, I'm kind of used to the tail attacks. And despite his design, I've struggled with Glavenus for a really long time because he's A, really tall and I can't reach him. Or B, he's just like, I've been carded so many times by this guy and it's kind of rude of him. And I think for that reason, I'm going to put him in B tier. Gyros. Great Gyros. Pretty great guy if you ask me. I think Gyros is he's pretty mid, I think. He's like, sometimes when I'm in the Rotten Vale and I'm looking for Great Gyros, I kind of don't even notice him. I like see him and I'm like, oh, it's just a Gyros. Oh, wait. It's a Great Gyros. He's like not that much bigger. He's not that much cooler. His paralysis attack is pretty annoying if you get hit by it. I don't think it's necessarily gonna put him in C tier with Rajang because I don't have personal beef with him, but his designs, like, I feel like it could have been like more, like, his little icon's very colorful, but I feel like when you're in the Rotten Vale, he's just not that noticeable in terms of like, he looks like a normal Gyros, you know, and your eyes slide over him like he's a part of the environment. So I'm gonna put him in B tier. Ah, the pickle. Yes, all right, Devil Joe. So, normal Devil Joe, I actually don't hate fighting this guy. He is very intrusive and he likes to get up in my business. but he's also kind of charming. He's extremely helpful. He likes picking things up and bringing them to me, and I honestly do appreciate him for that. That being said, I don't think he's gonna go into the S3 stars because this is normal Devil Joe. I think he's a classic. He's a menace, and I kind of love him for it. I've never had any personal issues with him, but he's a fun monster to fight. He's pretty iconic. He's very green, which is great. Like, I think they need more, like, in general designs, there needs to be more monsters of this color. I love it. Green's a great color. He's great. I'm gonna put him in S tier, S monster. Rathian. Okay, Rathian. My gut instinct is to put her in S, right? With Rathalos, but I actually struggle. I think, so Rathian is like classic green dragon. Like, pretty great. But she also got that poison. And shape-wise and movement-wise, I don't mind fighting the Rathi families, right? The Rathalos or Rathians. However, she likes to charge, and it drives me insane because sometimes you're just, especially when you're using a weapon, like swap to sword mode as Switch Axe, you're walking towards her and she's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna charge up in this direction. And you're like, my guy. She's very rude and she's always leaving me in the dust. So I'm gonna put her in A tier because of that. She's very rude. However, Pink Rathian, listen, I know that she should go in the same tier as normal Rathian. However, she's a lesbian icon and I'm putting her in S 3 stars because of that purely. She's pink, she's beautiful, she's just as annoying as normal Rathian, but she's pink, so it's okay. You guys understand? Beatotus, right. Beatotus is pretty middling for me. He's like the first Iceborne monster you fight. It's pretty cool that they went, what if we put a shark in the snow? Kind of like that. But he's also like, not that like imaginative. It's just a shark, you know. He's not annoying. He's not memorable to me. He's cool. I think we're maybe gonna put him in C tier because he's not got an annoying mechanics, but he's just kind of like, I guess he exists, you know. More Piscine Wyvern things, I think. Geradados. I actually kind of like this guy. He's pretty easy to hunt. I think he gets slept on a lot. He's just kind of looks like a turd, and it makes me laugh. He's a muddy boy. I think he's kind of cute in like the same way axolotls are cute. Like, I think if he was pink, he would be really, really cute, or like blue. But he's brown, and he just kind of looks like he just like kind of looks gross. But I kind of like, it's kind of charming in my opinion, and it's like. His fight isn't particularly offensive. He's quite easy to bully. I appreciate that. I farmed him a lot when I was in low rank because I needed his stuff. So you know, a lot of Geradados have died at my hands. I think he deserves A tier for that fact alone. Dodogama, okay, right. I think no one's gonna be surprised when I put Dodogama in S 3 stars because look at this little guy. Sweet boy. He's so round. He have 3 brain cell, and I honestly relate to that so much. I think, like, what a sweet little boy. He's so blue, he's so round. He's so sweet, I love him. He's the perfect monster, I think. He's so good. I have no points. I just love Dodogama, thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Diablos, okay. So, the D tier is for Diablos. In case you guys were wondering, I hate Diablos with a burning passion. This is like the first monster in the game that really stonewalled me when I was playing originally. This guy I have personal beef with and will continue to have personal beef with. I think I've hunted like Black Diablos like 1 time and I was like, never again. I hated that. So, oh, that's right. I fought a tempered, so my last experience fighting them was a tempered Diablos and Black Diablos in the Guiding Lands at the same time, which I didn't enjoy much. I died like 7 times. So, not the D tiers for Diablos. All right. Who next? Let's just go in just pick randoms. Oh yeah. Let's do Brachiotos. Brachiotos, I Oh, it's a toss-up between S and A tier. So I think his design kind of makes him look like a Decepticon, and his noise kind of, like the noises he kind of sounds like a Decepticon as well. So I feel like, but it's like a cool, it's kind of cool and lame at the same time. He looks a little bit like, what are those things? He looks like a Zoid, kind of. Is that right? Am I thinking of the right thing? I think I am. But he's kind of charming in the way that I feel like I would have enjoyed to have a little figurine of him when I was like 8 years old or something. I think I would have really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna put him in S tier for that reason. Because his fight is pretty fun. I love the fact that if you like mess up, you just get exploded. It's great. He kind of teaches you like watching for the wind-ups and stuff, and I think that's quite cool. I like him. Yeah, let's put him in S tier. Right, Kulayaku. Okay, this chicken, listen, he's not particularly inspired. He's kind of just a gangly little guy. Him eat rock, him steal egg. He have not much going on in his head. And like, I kind of love him for it, you know? He's just a sweet bird brain baby. And I think I'm gonna have to put him in S3 star for that. He's not hard to hunt. He's a sweet little guy. He's kind of just exists. He's helpful. He doesn't fight anyone. He's once blocked a fireball for me, and I honestly appreciate him for that. So I think that's where he's gonna go. You know who I'm looking at in the corner of my eye? It's Anjanath. Anjanath was probably one of the monsters that stood out to me the most, because like World was my first Monster Hunter game, right? Like back in 2018 when I started playing. So I was like, oh my god, they have a T-Rex. And then I learned he could breathe fire, and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. I really like Anjanath. However, he's a bit of a bitch, and he kind of bullies you when you're low rank. So I think I'm gonna put him in S tier for that. Like, I think his design is absolutely just a classic. I hope he's gonna be in Wilds. I really hope he's gonna be in Wilds. The whole ramp up stage he has with his like the nose flares and the little wings, like half wings. I think it's very cool and very well designed. And he's just a sweet guy. He's so funny. Let's do Velkhana. Right, so Velkhana I have mixed feelings about. Aesthetically, fantastic. Beautiful, gorgeous, love it. In terms of the fight, I think it's kind of a dickhead. Like, stop swinging that tail around. Just let me smack you. Thank you. Stop flying. Stop stabbing me. I appreciate it. I think because I'm kind of torn here because I really like his design, but I don't like his fight. I'll get through it, but I'm like, I don't enjoy him that much. I think I'm gonna put him in A tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put Velkhana in A tier because design would be S tier for me. I really love the crystal and the glass and like the aesthetic, right? But I really don't like the fight. I don't want to willingly fight Velkhana. Speaking of things I never want to willingly fight again, Behemoth. Behemoth goes in D tier. Behemoth, I made the mistake of fighting solo, and I quickly learnt why you're not supposed to do that. I don't enjoy him. He's going in D tier. Him and Diablos are going to hang out. Don't like Behemoth. I don't want to fight him. I know I will have to eventually, but like, you know, it's not going to be of my own choice. It's going to be someone like, hey, we're going to fight Behemoth, and I'll be like, begrudgingly, okay, I guess, you know. All right, let's go to someone a bit more interesting. Baroth. I kind of love Baroth. I really like putting Baroth through the car wash, like getting puddle pods and washing him. It's kind of stuck in my mind ever since my friend introduced me to it. He's just a little guy. I don't think how funny that is to me should put him in S tier there. So I think he's gonna go in S because he's just like a little armored guy. He kind of looks like a shrimp, like a prawn in this little picture, which I really like. He's so charming. I love Baroth. Muddy little guy, he's slashing. He's great, and his fight's not hard. He makes little train noise, like choo-choo train noises when he runs, which is pretty great, honestly, in my opinion. Good boy, a good boy. Just like Dodogama, they're both good boys. Ah, yes, Kushala Diora. So, Kushala, in terms of design, pretty damn cool. Classic dragon silhouette. Got the cool, like, long head and the sleek silver scales, and the armor's very nice. I really like the sleek bronze and silver armor, especially in Master Rank. However, absolute fucking misery to play as a melee. As a melee, like, weapon main. I hate it. I actively just... I tilt so hard when I fight Kushala. I just don't want to be there. I'm like, please get me out of here. I'm gonna get the part I need and I'm gonna go. It's never a pleasant experience. Don't enjoy it. So Diora goes in D tier with Diablos and Behemoth, in my opinion. Basil! Okay. Basil, I really like. I think the design-wise, having a monster that drops like natural explosives is very unusual. I don't really know much about the lore about why. I kind of want to read up more to see why it does that. I'm like so interested in the scientific reasoning that could be. I don't know if there is one. If you do know it, please tell me below. But I think Basil is just, he's beautiful. He's got like the cool like craggly effect. He drops bombs. His like theme, the music for Basil Goose is amazing. He's a great little guy. I think I want more monsters like him in the future. I think he's great. I love him. My mouse has landed on Rajang. Right, so Furious Rajang and Rajang I have similar feelings about. I think normal Rajang, no, I'm gonna put him in the same tier. I'm just as scared of him as Furious Rajang, I think. I'm gonna put him higher. He's a higher tier than not Furious Rajang. Because normal Rajang is just kind of a dickhead. He just like rocks up and he's like, hey, what's up, man? And you're like, oh god, you're here. Great, thanks. You've just made my day 3 times harder. You know? So I think I'm gonna put him in C tier. It's cool. Like, he's a monkey, I guess. Monkey, you know, like, he's funny. Don't like it. Legiana. Alright, so originally when I played the game, the reason I quit it back in 2018 was Legiana, right? I read like normal low rank Legiana. It was the first big wall I came across and I was kind of like, god damn it. I got really frustrated, quit the game because I was playing solo. So when I picked it up this time, I was taught the tricks of the trade, so my experience with Legiana was so bad in 2018 that when I played Monster Hunter Stories, and you know, you've got like the cries of monsters in that game. If you've played it, you can hear like the normal monsters cries. And I heard Legiana's cry in a cutscene and I shivered. I bodily shivered. I was like, oh god, I remember that. I know who that is, you know. These days, I have got a lot of exposure therapy to Legiana, aka I've hunted them like, I think it's like 30 times or something in my stats or something. But because of that, I've gotten better. I appreciate Legiana. They're quite cool. They're like a little weird chicken looking thing, but they're also quite beautiful with like the effect and the pattern on the wings. I think very elegant, very apt, like apex predator of the Coral Highlands. Great monster. I'm gonna put it in S tier. Right. Oh right, how can we miss him? Nagakuga. He's an immediate S tier 3 stars. Here's why. So, Nagakuga is like a cat and a panther and a wyvern, which are like 3 of my favorite things ever, right? So Nagakuga, probably top tier, just before Lesbian Rathian, Pink Rathian. Nagakuga is just like my favorite. It's like an eagle and a panther and a wyvern in one creature, and it's just fantastic, I think. I like fighting it. I love its design. It looks so fluffy. I want to pat him. I want to scritch him under his chin. I want to feed him treats. I want to watch him destroy a forest. I think he's fantastic. No issues. My favorite monster by far. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10 if I can award it here, honestly. Excellent. All right. On to someone I like a lot less. Kieran. I honestly hate fighting Kieran. I think the design of having an elder dragon that doesn't look like a dragon and it's like a horse and it's a unicorn, and it's like a dragon unicorn. I love its design so much, but oh my god, is it a bitch to fight. I hate Kieran. I had to close the game. There's been several instances where I fought Kieran and gone, man, I've had enough of that, actually. I'm not having fun anymore. I die at least one time every time I'm fighting the appropriate level of Kieran. Maybe I'll put it in B tier because, you know, maybe it deserves to be A tier. No, I've got to put it in. Okay, I really like its design, but I kind of hate its fight, so it's going in B tier for me. Jagras. Hello, great Jagras. Right. Jagras, I think, is a sweet little guy. His design kind of reminds me of really adorable geckos, which I'm a big fan of, honestly. I would have a pet gecko if I had the know-how how to keep them, you know. I think they're great. However, I don't like how he just eats things whole. It's kind of icky. But I do like him. He's a funny little monster. I like it. I especially like the mission where there's a really little one and a really, really, really big one. I think that's great. I'm gonna put it in A tier. He's great. He's a good, like, little guy, but he's not enough to get into S tier just because of that, you know? Let's go to Yostra. So, one of my favorite animals are lions and big cats. I think they're very majestic. And I also just really like cats. So, having like a chimera looking creature with like big wings and like fire and massive horns, I really like and appreciate Teostra, and also the fact that he just is chill up until you actually hit him. I like that. So you can just kind of stand next to him and pose and take photos, and I honestly recommend it if you haven't done that already. I'm gonna put him in S 3 stars because he's just a chill guy. He's just here to have a good time. All right, but speaking of Teostra, Lunastra, I don't like as much. I don't like his wife. She's a bit of a Karen, if you ask me. I do not like Lunastra. Kind of annoying to fight. I like her design because, again, big cats. But she's... I don't know, she has like the thing going for her that she bonds with Teostra and they do a really cool attack. But overall, I don't like her as much. She's very stun and knock down heavy sort of fight. So I think for that reason, I'm gonna put her in B tier along with Kieran. I think I like her a bit more than Kieran. Let's go back to another flagship monster, Nergigante. I have never felt particularly miserable while fighting Nergigante. I've always feel like his fights are pretty fair, honestly. They're pretty not easy. They're never easy, but like I never feel like I'm having a bad time when I'm fighting Nergigante, you know? He's just a spiky little guy. He's kind of porcupiney. I think he's really funny with his big horns. He looks cool. I like him. I think he's a pretty great flagship monster. And the music that goes along with him, very cool as well. Barioth, yeah. Okay, Barioth's a hard monster to get used to. I think design-wise, because he looks like a big cat, he's gonna be at least A tier for me. His fight is very hard to learn, in my opinion, but it's not horrific. Like I got there eventually, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I can pretty much usually fight him, you know. I think he's cool because of that. So, I think we're gonna put an A tier. Yeah. Oh, I don't think Frostfang Barioth's on this map. On this thing. That's fine. Well, Frostfang Barioth would probably be A tier as well for me. He's fluffy. Maybe even S tier. Yeah. Let's go with Rathalos. I actually like Azure Rathalos more than Rathalos, but I still think he's gonna be S tier. I don't think there's anything particularly over-imaginative about his fight compared to normal Rathalos. I think his color's nicer. I like the blue a lot. He's pretty great, honestly. I don't think there's anything overall about him that pushes him into S 3 stars for me, like my absolute favorites, but yeah, I think he's good. Good design, classic good dragon boy. Good wyvern, you know? Okay, Zora Magdaros, I don't like the fight, but I think the idea of a monster that's a massive rocky mountain looking thing is pretty damn cool. I just really hate the siege fight. I don't like the Zora Magdaros siege, and I will not willingly farm it. I don't want to bother getting his armor. I think he's pretty great. I just don't like how long the siege takes, so he's gonna go in C tier for me. Oh, here's another good classic monster, Tigrex. I think Tigrex... I don't mind fighting him. I think his design's pretty great. Big fuck-off wyvern with a big boxy head and awesome like blue stripes. I think the color combination's great. Let's put him in A tier, I think. I think he's probably the top of A tier for me. Oh, yes, if we're talking about Diablos, Black Diablos is also going to go into D tier, but she's gonna go lower than the other ones because she's even more aggressive and even more frustrating because of that. So I'm gonna put her very firmly there. I just, design-wise and lore-wise, I actually think Black Diablos is really imaginative. I think burrowing wyvern, very cool, but the fact they burrow is what makes them so frustrating to fight in the arena. So, yeah, nice monster. Not my favorite. I'm gonna say that. Let's go Puke Puke. Good old classic Puke. So, as a thing, not a fan of the tongue. I think the fact he eats and spits poison is pretty great. It's a nice use of environmental design and putting it into a monster's like routine in terms of like attacks. I like that. I think it's a little bit silly that he can be poisoned though in turn. So, I'm gonna put him in A tier. I don't have anything personally against Puke Puke. I think he's very firmly a bit higher than Gyarados and Jagras, I think. Just A tier, classic, very fluffy boy, banded tail, looks a bit chameleon, which is creepy and fantastic at the same time. I love lizards. Lizards are great. Namiel. Where do I put Namiel? I really like Namiel's design, right? Namiel's design is enough to pop it like at the top of S tier for me. The fight itself, in terms of thunder and water blights, I don't enjoy. I do enjoy, however, playing the game of Russian roulette that is trying to survive the ultimate attack of Namiel. I do enjoy that game of chicken. So I think I'm gonna put Namiel high. A little bit, probably not higher than Negagante, but before Brachytos, yeah. Normal Valhazak. I actually kind of like the fight. I never felt like it was a really annoying one. I don't like that it fights in like the areas that give you the DOT damage, like on your health. But I still think, maybe just not quite S tier. I don't really like the goopy corpse look, but it's also very cool. So I think I'm gonna put it like there in A tier. I don't like the design that much, but the fight's pretty great. The mechanics and like having to deal with having your health cut in half is not that annoying, but it is like something to deal with. You just have to be very careful of it, sort of thing. Yeah, I think A tier is a good place for him. While we're talking about Valhazak though, Black Veil Valhazak. I think Black Veil Valhazak I'm also gonna... Oh, actually, okay. No, I think I'm gonna put him in a pretty similar spot. I don't like the moldiness of him. I've got a real ick with mold, as I think most people probably do. So for the fact I don't really enjoy it, but I think the fight itself is, again, not unfair. I don't think he's miserable to fight. It's just the design and like the theme for me. So yeah. Coral Puke Puke. I kind of love this monster because he has pan flag colors. He's pink, yellow, and blue. For those who don't know, that's my mascot's colors, as you can see, and also the pansexual pride flag colors, which I am also pansexual, so that makes me very happy. So I like Coral Puke Puke for that reason. It's pretty fun that you can like cut off his tail and kind of make the fight easier that way. I think that mechanic's pretty fun. I actually got the same with normal Puke Puke, but I feel like it's more impactful with Coral Puke. It's mostly the colors. I won't lie to you, it is mostly the colors that I'm finding appealing about him. The fight's like an average fight. I just like the black colors, you know, I'm putting him in S tier for that reason. He's great. Let's go Odogaron. I haven't talked about Odogaron yet. Odogaron, I like Odogaron. I like him more than Devil Joe. Honestly, probably more than Radoban too. I think, oh no, I don't like more than Radoban. I think the Odogaron design is really funny. It's not Odogaron, it's Odogaron or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. but he's just a dog. He's just Clifford the Big Red Dog, as a monster. And like, I don't know about you, but that's pretty, it's pretty nostalgic. For me, I think he's great. He's a creepy little rotting dog creature, and I think he's great. Don't like his mechanics as much. I think he's very over mobile and a bit annoying to deal with because of that. But, you know, there's a lot of monsters that are like that. I think his fight is easier to learn than others. The bleed effect can be annoying, but overall bleed is not end of the world in terms of mechanics. I think there's a lot more annoying ones like stun, lava sloth. Okay, I actually don't mind lava sloth as much. Like, this might be a bit of a hot take, but I think I know he's one of the least hunted monsters. But I don't think he's terrible. He's kind of annoying. I think I like his design because he's like, it's pretty unusual to have something that swims in lava. I've always liked that as a theme. So I think I'm gonna put him above Gyarados, but I am gonna put him in A tier there, yeah. Oh, Uragaan, okay. I think I am unfortunately gonna put Uragaan in D tier. Probably the top of D tier. He's kind of just a bit of a pain in the butt. Not really to fight, but just a pain in my butt in terms of anytime he's on the map, he wants to be involved. And it's like, it's pretty annoying. I'm like, okay, mate, just wait your turn, huh? Wait your turn. Whenever I actually hunt him, I'm not having too bad of a time. But his design's kind of ugly. And he spits annoying rocks, and I don't like it. He's now being demoted to D tier. Yeah, let's go Silver Rathalos. I like Silver Rathalos. I think just like how Pink Rathian's up here, I think Silver Rathalos is gonna go up here. No, I rescind that actually. I think Silver Rathalos is gonna go at the end of S tier. That's pretty generous of me actually. I'm just now remembering the fight. I think he's gonna go to high A tier. He's cool. I like his design just like the other Rathaloses, right? But he spits so much fire. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so done with Silver Rathalos. He's such a pain in the butt. For that reason, he's gonna go in A tier. I think he's less annoying than Volcana, and yeah, that's all I got. I think he's gonna top of A tier. Right, I have similar feelings about Gold Rathian, who we're gonna talk about next. Gold Rathian has the worst parts of, but she's so cool. Okay, she looks really, really cool. She's bright, brilliant gold, and she's gorgeous, and I am, like, her normal set, like, the Divine Blessing 5 set is my normal set that I use, right? And I use her Switch Axe, that's my current one that I've used the most, I think. So, I want to put her higher, but I kind of can't. Her fight is hard. Again, with the grinding to level 7. I think it's Wildspire Wastes area in the Guiding Lands, you gotta grind it to level 7. It's so annoying. It takes so long. But the fight overall, she's very spinny, very, very wiggly. Still charges a lot, just like normal Rathian. Yeah, I farmed her a lot. She's not horrific to fight, but not my favorite, I'd say. So I'm gonna put her in A tier as well. Ooh, Savage Deviljho. Okay, so unlike normal Deviljho, I am going to be putting Savage Deviljho in S tier 3 stars. Mostly because he looks so cool and he's just such a menace. He has such a personality. He has such a presence. Whenever he's on the map, you're like, oh god, it's him. He's here. But in kind of a good way, but also kind of the worst way. You're like, oh my god, I gotta deal with him. And you do deal with him, or you avoid him. It's a bit of a game of chess whenever there's a Savage Deviljho on the map. I like him. He's not horrific to fight, you know, like I don't think he's terrible. Like his fight's pretty fun. I think he's pretty fair. I don't like the fact he spits dragon breath everywhere, but I can kind of forgive him for it, you know. I think he deserves to have a little bit of a shout. Ah, yes, Xeno'jiiva. I don't like Xeno'jiiva. I think the design of the concept is cool, but I kind of just find his fight really annoying. Maybe he could be higher. I might put Xeno'jiiva in B tier. He's supposed to be the end game boss of Base World. So I think he deserves to go there for that reason alone. I do not have much to say about him other than I think the color, like his color palette's nice. While we are talking about Xeno though, let's talk about Safi'jiiva. I like Safi'jiiva a lot more. Safi'jiiva's like that classic oh, look, a dragon. Like that, when you hunt Safi'jiiva, that's what you think. You're like, oh, look, a cool dragon. So I think for that reason, and the fact that I love dragons, I'm gonna put Safi'jiiva at the top of S tier. Just a pretty great monster. I didn't find the hunt, like, annoying. I like that there's the cover mechanic. It just led to some really funny moments of just like, oh my god, I dive behind cover. Yeah, I don't know, I don't mind it at all. Pretty great fight. Brute Tigrex, yeah, let's put Brute Tigrex. I think I like Brute Tigrex more than normal Tigrex. He's not particularly imaginative in terms of like, the fight isn't that much different, but I like the color palette more than normal Tigrex. I think the classic like brown and orange and yellow is like really nice. Oh wait, no, I've just remembered. Hang on, he's the raw. No, actually, okay. When you have earplugs, the fight's drastically different. The first time I did it, I had earplugs. Okay, with earplugs, he is an S tier fight and monster. When you don't have earplugs, I think he's got to go down to the bottom of A tier. He's so annoying. Just don't shut up. Close his mouth. Like, come on. Very annoying. Speaking of annoying, there's not really anyone left that I find super irritating. Let's talk about Folgar Anjanath. Right, so normal Anjanath I put in S tier, didn't I? I'm gonna put Folgar Anjanath in quite high S tier 3 stars because I love the lightning effect he has. It's so cool. The fact that they change him that much, that drastically from normal Anjanath, very, very cool. Well done. I think the fight, in terms of like how it scales up, the angrier he gets and the more like electrified he gets, the fact his like fur on his back stands up with the static electricity, I love that. I love that effect so much, and they put so much detail into him. Folgar Anjanath is one of the best design monsters in this game. Honestly, I can't put him above Dodogama though. I'm sorry. I want to, but I don't think I can do that. Dodogama's just a sweet boy. He deserves to be there. Yeah, that's my thoughts about Folgar Anjanath. I think he's good. I like him. I would like to see him return. Let's talk about Tobi-Kadachi. So, I like Tobi-Kadachi. I think he's gonna be low S tier. High A tier. I'm gonna put him in high A tier. I don't mind fighting him. I like his name a lot. Tobi-Kadachi is a pretty cool name. I like that. His design being like kind of flying fox, like mammalian spiky thing. I like it. He stuns a lot, which is a pretty annoying. So that's probably why he can't go in S tier for me. But he's cool. I think he's very sleek and well designed, and I think I'd like to see him return in Wilds, especially. I'd like to see how they did that in like a foresty setting. So yeah, I think I quite like him. All right, let's talk about Nightshade Palumu. So normal Palumu goes into B because of the flying. So I think we're also going to put Nightshade Palumu into B because of the flying. Honestly, maybe even C, the sleep effect is funny. The sleep effect's funny, so I think maybe it does deserve to be at the top of B. I like the peacock feather effect. I like the armor for Nightshade Palumu. I think it's imaginative, and like they've kept like the Palumu vibe, right? Like I think it's the same. I like it. I like him. I think he's well designed. I think he's cool looking. He's fluffy. I want to pat him. I don't want to fight him. I hate being put to sleep. I hate being stunned. I hate being put to sleep. Very annoying. So that's why he's got to go in B tier along with normal Palumu. Viper Tobi-Kadachi. So normal Tobi-Kadachi goes in A tier. Viper Tobi-Kadachi does, however, go in C tier because poison and paralysis and stuns and speedy boy. Bro, to be fair, he is going to go above the Rajangs, I think, because his aesthetic being like autumnal and like kind of like coppery colored with like I think his aesthetic is brilliant. I love how sleek and like nice he looks. I love how he has a little path he goes to find a little bit of food and take it back to his nest. However, the fight itself, oh, maybe he does deserve, okay, no, maybe he deserves to go in B tier. I think he's gonna go at the top of B tier. I don't like the status effects in his fight. It's pretty frustrating to deal with. It takes up a lot of decoration slots if you want to just be gone with it, you know? Yeah, he's gonna go top of B tier for me. Next, let's talk about Seething Basil. I like Seething Basil. I love Basil Goose, so I think I'm gonna put him between Teostra and Deviljho. I think Seething Basil is like, they took a really good monster and they made it even more ridiculous and silly and fantastic. I think he's absolutely just charming and funny little guy just sending purple blobs everywhere, exploding the world. Eat your heart out. Yeah, Seething Basil's pretty solidly S tier 3 stars for me, I think. I like him a lot. I think he deserves it. The fight itself isn't particularly much different to normal Basil Goose. The danger and like the stress of the fight is more don't get exploded, don't get exploded, don't get exploded. Right, acidic Glavenus, shall we do? Better I put normal Glavenus. Ooh, I think acidic Glavenus I am going to put. I like him more than normal Glavenus. I think I'm gonna put him at the higher end of B tier. Again, big boy, very tall, hard to hit, just like normal Glavenus. But I like, I like him more than Glavenus. I think it's very imaginative that they made a fire-themed monster. I went, how can we turn it into something different? And they made him like acidic. I think that's very cool. Like the whole tail being acid, like acidic saliva. I think that's very cool. I like his colors. I love the teal on his body. But again, he's just a big boy with a big tail. And I am not very good at dodging him. And I have personal beef, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. Ebony Odogaron, I think he is cooler. He is the cooler Daniel. I'm sorry, Odogaron. He is the cooler Odogaron. Oh, I'm gonna put him high in S tier. Because his design, he looks like a race car. And I'm like honestly obsessed with it. I love just the design of him and how absolutely feral and rabid he is, just like screaming and jumping around the place. It is hilarious. It always just makes me just stand back and go, what is going on? And I love him for that. Also, he's dog, so he's a good boy. Hoofdtrough, I have recently been fighting. I like the siege. I like the mechanics behind it. The fight is hard. The DPS checks in it. I was farming it solo and I was finding it really hard. So, like the design though, I think the big gold sheet and like the actual, how the fight picks up in pace once you break off parts is very nice. I love the sparkly aesthetic. I really, really love Hoofdrough's armor. Like the armor set is brilliant. I think it's very nicely designed. I think maybe for that reason, the fact the fight's so interesting, probably put an S tier. Like, but like, lower S tier. I think it's not better than Anjanath. I think it is better than Legiana. Let's talk about Shrieking Legiana. Honestly, Shrieking Legiana, aesthetically, cooler than normal Legiana. Again, it's a case of cooler Daniel. So I'm gonna put it higher. Don't think it's cooler. I don't like it more than Barath. I like it more than Hoofdtrough. But the fact is, mechanically, it's just Legiana. I don't even, like, half the time, I feel like it's not that much different, you know? So I think I'm gonna put Shrieking Legiana a bit higher, but overall, it's not that much different than normal Legiana. I like it. I like the icy effect and like how it gets like the ice armor. Excellent aesthetically. I think it's very cool. I feel like Shrieking Legiana, they were like, oh wait, let's make Legiana have ice armor, right? To this level of detail, and then they were like, they scrapped it in the game developments. When Iceborne came along, they went, oh, let's do this thing that we thought for Legiana. That's what I feel like they did. And like, that's why Shrieking Legiana is a thing. I think it would have been cooler if it was like a ghostly, like white or silver, or maybe like pinky, like cream and pink, because it's honestly just looks like Legiana. I think if it was distinctly a different color and maybe it had like more of a reliance on its cry or like more, it uses more ice attacks, I suppose, but I think it could have been a bit more detailed in that respect. Let's talk about Raging Brachiosaurus. Let's talk about the Raging Brachiosaurus in the room. I really like the Raging Brachiosaurus fight. I think it's, again, the whole like Decepticon vibe that I get from him. I think the fight's hard, but not like overly ridiculously difficult. Because I've done it solo a couple times, and I was like, oh, this is pretty fun, actually. It's a game of dodgeball in the most fantastic, ridiculous, over-the-top way that is so Monster Hunter, and I love it, honestly. So I think I'm gonna put him pretty high in S tier. He's not quite, like, his design is not like, oh my god, I love it, in terms of what's currently an S 3-star, but he's definitely pretty top tier for me. I think honestly higher than Azure Rathalos. I think he's top of S tier for me. Fight's fantastic, well designed. In fact, he's a big, bulky fuck off Brachionos. I think it's great. I love it. His armor's very useful. Don't necessarily love the aesthetic of the armor because it's a bit like sci-fi Judge Dredd, which is cool. It's just not my vibe, you know? Yeah. Okay, let's do the Zinogres. Normal Zinoga, I think is fantastic. I really like him. Again, I think dogs are cute, and the fact that he's a wolf, it's very cool. I love the lore reason for his electricity being like the lightning bugs on his back. I like that a lot. I think it's very imaginative. It's like, no, this guy doesn't actually have electricity powers. He just stinks so bad that there's like little like electric bugs that are in his fur because he's stinky. He's got electric fleas, and I'm honestly here for it. That's so imaginative. His cry is very cool, like the howl. I didn't hate fighting him. It was like the cutscenes he was in had a very good lead up, and then you get to fight him and you're like, oh wow, this monster's actually pretty cool. I know this is not a very hot take. I think he's very well loved by the community, and for a good reason. I'm gonna put him up here. Honestly, do I like him more than Pink Rathian? I don't. And I don't like him more than Rotogama. I'm gonna put him there, very firmly in S tier, high S tier there for him. Let's talk about Stygian Zinoga. Stygian Zinoga, I think he's also got to be very high tier. I don't know if I like him more than normal. I think I like him more than normal Zinoga. Yeah, I think Stygian Zinoga, again, it's kind of, he doesn't have that much difference to normal Zinoga, right? He has the big rush attack, which is quite scary, quite hard to deal with. And design-wise, he's a very cool color shift. Black and red and white is always a color palette that slaps, and no one can change my mind. His weapons, especially, every single weapon from Stygian Zinoga's parts looks amazing. I have not seen like a bad weapon from the Stygian Zinoga. It just looks great. Love it. Love the aesthetic. Armor gives you dog ears, like buffy ears in the female set, which is amazing. I love that. That's so cute. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him there. That's a pretty solid spot for him. I don't know if I just for the fact that his armor is better than Dodogama's, I think I'm gonna put him higher. He's gonna go third place for me. Right, let's talk about Ruiner Nergigante. Where did I put normal Nergigante? There. I like him more than normal Nergigante. Ruiner Nergigante is a very interesting fight in terms of the shotgun blast attack type of thing he does. It's very much if your defenses aren't high enough, you're gonna die and get deep fried by him, which is fun. I enjoy that experience. He's just kind of, he's like, there's no silly like elemental check or like hard element to his fight. It's just a straight up, he's now gonna beat you into a wall to survive fight, which is quite enjoyable, I think. I think I'm gonna put him after Raging Brachiotos in terms of high S tier. That sounds like a good choice. All right, let's talk about Yangaruga. I really like Yangaruga's armor. I used it for a really long time. He is a classic. I love the color purple that he has. He's also just kind of a crackhead, which is great. He's just jumpy and all over the place and scatterbrained, and I think it's charming. I don't find him particularly miserable to fight because he doesn't fly as much as the other wyverns. And I love the dive one attack where he just kind of sticks his head into the ground and stays there for just a second. It's really funny. It gets me every time. I really love it. I think for that reason, he's probably gonna go like middle. Yeah, like middle S tier for that, like Yangaruga. Scarred Yangaruga? It's not really that much difference, I think. I think maybe like the same. I feel like the same about them. Like maybe he's a little bit harder, so like probably lower. Yeah, I'll put him second. I like both the Yangarugas. I wish that they'd done something a bit more imaginative with Yangaruga, like Scarred Yangaruga. I don't know, otherwise though. Yeah. Alright, so Leshen. I don't like Leshen. I actually have not successfully beat Leshen. I think I don't like the fact that you cannot kidnap him and take him home with you. I like the fact that you get the Geralt stuff from it. I think that's pretty neat. And the fact it's a quest to do with, like, the fact that it crossover with Witcher is very cool. I love that. I'm gonna put him probably in B tier. Yeah, because like the pinning attack, like the rooting attack, I don't enjoy. He's very friendly there. I think his design, I can't really comment on his design because it's not a Monster Hunter design, it's a Witcher design. I do love the Witcher 3 monsters. I think in that case it's cool. I think the mechanics are pretty annoying because it's kind of like bringing over a monster with different mechanics from a different game and try to make it work in a Monster Hunter situation. Because there's not really many monsters in Monster Hunter World, at least, and Iceborne, that have an attack that gets you stuck. Like just forces you to be stuck and you can't get out of it. Don't like that much. And I think the same with Ancient Leshen, I think. I think it's cool, but like, they're not my favorite. Shar Ishvalda. I like Shar Ishvalda. I've used the weapons a lot, like the weapon and the armor set quite a bit. The fight takes a while. The fight is a bit of an endurance test because it's like 2 stages and they take a while, but I guess it's what you want a boss fight to be. I like it more than Xeno'jiiva. Don't like it more than Safi'jiiva, but I think in terms of like an end of Iceborne fight, I think it's pretty great. Just having like the big rocks peel away to reveal like an elegant, like, it's really interestingly aesthetic dragon. I don't like the creepy little tentacle hands it has, so I think for that reason we are gonna put it in A tier, probably above the Valhazax. Yeah, I think that's a good place for him. Alatreon, I know everyone's gonna disagree with me, and it's okay if you disagree with me here because this is my opinion. Aesthetically, Alatreon is amazing. I think it's so well designed. I think it's a very, very interesting, cool monster. However, you guys aren't gonna like this, but I hate the fight. It's so hard. It's so hard. I don't like DPS check mechanics. I know I just need to get good, but fuck. I've been bashing my head against this stupid dragon for fucking weeks, and I'm so over him. I'm so done with Alatreon. Okay, just because the design is really cool. I don't know. I'm gonna put him in high A tier. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, Fatalis. I think, okay, I haven't fought Fatalis yet, but I've seen videos because I need to defeat a lot. I'm trying to defeat Alatreon first. Fatalis. I like Fatalis design-wise. His fight, I know is supposed to be really hard, but I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think I'm gonna struggle, but I also think big fuck off dragon is like really cool. I think I'm gonna put him after Safi. I don't like him as much as Safi'jiiva, but I'm gonna put Fatalis up there in S tier. I feel bad for putting Alatreon in A tier. No, I'm gonna put him there. I have personal beef with him. This is my opinion, guys. You can let me know if you disagree. But yeah, this is my tier list for all of the Monster Hunter World and Iceborne monsters. I think Frostbang Barrier was also not in here. I think it's probably some others I've missed, but it's okay. Let me know if I have missed one, and if you want me to further regale you with my opinions. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions. And let me know what your favorite and least favorite monsters are as well, because honestly, I'm so excited to hear what everyone has to say, and this community is amazing. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope we get to decide who gets it.